Super Mario World Parkour Scale. Huh. Parkour Scale. Hardcore Parkour! Welcome to the Parkour Scale course, where you show your best possible movements and reflexes today. Hardcore Parkour! That's literally all I know about parkour. I remember it was like a thing for a while where people would be like actually doing parkour and running around. Oh, I see. It's this gimmick. Okay, I understand what I need to do, I think. I need to do a lot more of it. I see the moon. I need more tiles consumed. It's a lot of tiles. Oh, that's enough tiles. Okay. What am I trying to accomplish here? Welcome to die! Alright, whatever it is, I think I accomplished eating the tiles I needed to eat. The problem is now I gotta go up. This was in the Kaizo entries. I'm a bit surprised. It doesn't feel... Oh. Well, that worked, I guess. Maybe. Be my friend. I want that moon. I'm gonna make bad decisions here to get that moon. I don't know if I can make that jump. Rephrase this. I don't know if I can make that jump. It might be a possible jump to do, but I'm not that good. And it takes long enough to get to that I don't think I want to do it more than once. Curious how this actually did in OLDC, because I didn't look at the results that carefully. I know at least one of the levels got, like, demoted to standard or promoted to Kaizo or something. Or maybe that was VLDC with one of the levels that did that. Here it goes, I'm gonna mow my lawn. That song is just stuck in my head forever. Okay. The question really is, like, what am I doing with these scales? Okay, I need that to be higher up so I can actually make a move. Okay. It's grass? Nah. Some sort of weird vine thing, mostly. Now that was more Kaizo feeling. Is that something I can stand on? It's rather hard to tell. That is something I can stand on, but I probably shouldn't stand on it for long. In fact, I may have made a mistake. Okay, can I fix this? I think I can fix this. Okay, well, if I do this, then get rid of the muncher. Then I can jump over to that one, use LR scrolling, and hopefully respawn the one I need there to move on. But didn't I have a platform here that I needed to get on? Or is this it? Okay, cool. Now raise this. Nuts! Okay, well that was tricky. Yeah, I'm still not sure what to make of this. I would say right now, this isn't what I think of when I think of Kaizo, even in an OLDC context. Like, you're playing a level with these things. I've definitely played levels that have these in standard and being used in similar ways. Like, there's the jump level that uses them in a very similar way, where you're, like, eating blocks and things. I appreciate the beginning, where it's like, here is the gimmick of the level, here's what you're going to do. And it's mandatory, so if you don't understand this gimmick somehow, because you haven't played Mario World and understand the way that these tiles work, or these particular sprites work with regard to tiles, it helps. Right. That was cool, but not what I needed to do. The spin jump was the wrong way to go about it. Anyway. Basically, if everything goes according to Keikaku, Keikaku means plan, I should basically stream most of the days this week. I've got some annoying stuff I need to do tomorrow that's going to be pinball related. And I need to go to the bank to get something, which is always annoying. No one ever wants to go to their friggin' bank. Thankfully, there's a branch I can go to that's not terribly far away from here, but still mildly annoying that I have to go to the bank to solve this problem. But oh well. Mostly I just need to play D&D once. Like, at all. Yeah, that thing didn't spawn. Didn't respawn for me. It was still navigatable without it. Okay. I always love it when you're like, oh, for Pete's sake! 4 feet away from the midway, and you mess up like that. Oh, that was loud. Yeah, Snyder and Fiskbit BS'd until like 4 or 3 a.m. yesterday. I left at 1:30 because I was done. I was just exhausted. It's one of those, if I stay any longer, I'm just going to fall asleep on this couch, and I'd rather fall asleep in my bed kind of situations. Snyder really wanted help getting the constraint solver hooked in that my bro made into his system, which was going to try to disambiguate certain edges. But it didn't quite come together. The whole problem is still kind of a disappointment in a way, but I just can't be mad about it, because I'm pretty sure it was all made by a single Australian dude. I'm not sure he's Australian, I just want to do the Futurama meme. We made it so efficient, it was all the work was being done by a single Australian man. There we go. I wonder how the respawn is going to work for this. Probably puts me right here. Cool. Anyway, we did a lot of, like, pre-work. Me, my bro, and my nephew made some steaks. Actually, that was hilarious. That's a decent story to tell. So we were, in the pre-meetings for all of this, we had discussed where to get a grill, because the place we had rented didn't have one. Last year, it had a charcoal grill, and like a proper Weber, you know, big size, classic dad's grilling, barbecuing kind of thing. And then, like, Fiskbit volunteered this grill, and he's like, it's kind of small. I'm like, that should be fine. Then I finally look at it and realize, oh, this isn't going to work at all. Like, it could basically fit maybe 2 hamburgers at the same time. It was tiny. The thing I didn't understand was that it was a gift that he'd gotten when he worked at a company, and so it was like this tiny thing. And so I'm looking at this. We got 7, I think it was like 9 steaks to get through, and a bunch of brats and some corn. And so the dude who's our DM basically said, "Hey, my house is like 2 blocks away. Let's just grill on my grill." So we packed up all of our stuff. Barbecue stuff. Not all of it. We left some to do the charcoal grilling. And packed up everything else and used his propane one. Really natural gas. It's hooked directly to the gas line of his house, but still. So we went over there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, you just park in the driveway, because like my wife and kids should be home." And they weren't home. They were out at like a PTA style meeting thing. Like a dinner meeting. And so he was actually kind of antsy. He's like, "Where the heck are they? That's weird. It's way past the little one's bedtime." He's got a 2-year-old, and, you know, 2-year-olds go to bed pretty early, like 6 or 7 p.m. Okay, I gotta think about actually how this part works. Okay, I think what I want to do is try to land on that rather than ride one of those down. But I was grilling, he'd just constantly be looking in the driveway to see if they got back. Eventually they came back. It was nice to see her. I hadn't seen her in a while. His wife. Knew her from college. And little girls were funny too. And then we just put all of the stuff back. You gotta go. Alright, see you later. Sleep well, Matt. Oh, for Pete's sake. Anyway, I just thought it was funny, just like grilling 2 blocks away, bringing back all that stuff. But we ate all of it. And the next day, the DM made tacos, which was great. He is a good taco maker. Just braised up some beef. And then cooked the tortillas. Fried him up, me too. Yeah, I know, I'll sleep well tonight. I'm tired. He makes good salsa. That's the key thing. He makes really good salsa. Pretty decent pico. Like, it's not, pico's, like, not amazingly difficult to begin with. Like, but, like, he actually has one of those proper, like, pepper grinder kind of things that he uses to make his salsa. Which is his mom's old recipe. And his mom uses a grinder thing. We actually harassed Big Fat C about it because the first time, one of the times, like, we had gotten this salsa. He'd been, like, this was years ago. He'd gone out to his parents' house. And he brought back some salsa his mom made. And, like, oh, so he's like, oh, these are really good. And he's picking this up on the chip. And he's just, like, dripping it everywhere. What am I doing? Why did I go back that far? I just was wasting a bunch and, like, putting a bunch on his character. Someone's character sheet. It wasn't even his character sheet. And so we definitely, like, don't drop it. We want to eat that. We have a lot of running gags on our team. Stupid ones, not necessarily, but... I also got a decent amount of mileage out of using the Midnight Golfer meme, because I just remembered it existed. Didn't want to land on that. If you haven't ever seen the Midnight Golfer sketch, the basic premise is, oh, this dude, they're in the office, there's a guy talking to another guy's like, you hear about Steve? He's like, yeah, no, what about Steve? He's like, he's a midnight golfer. His peanut butter is a little crunchy. And, like, he goes on and says all of these random things that just sound like they're innuendo. And there's like 80 of them. And then finally the guy comes over and says, heard what you're saying about me. He's like, yeah? He's like, well, thanks for those nice things you said. Those are nice compliments. And the other guy goes, well, you sure have all of your lamps in one submarine. And the dude looks at him and is like, what, you calling me gay? When do you get off calling me gay? Just very silly little sketch from, like, the 90s. Like Mad TV, which was an outgrowing of the Mad magazine, was never great. Okay, so yeah, I was right. I do want to ride that. But it had its moments. It also had its anti-moments. I want to say that the Rob Schneider thing, the making cuppies, was a Mad TV thing. But as a kid when it was on, the only thing I really cared about was Spy versus Spy. And to be fair, I still kind of like Spy versus Spy. Both the comic and the... they did a hand-drawn, like, cartoon thing for it. Also, it's a not terribly bad NES game. Like, I think that particular, like, dynamic of Spy versus Spy could easily make a really good game. Like, someone should probably do that, rig it up for online. Because it was actually fun to play 2-player Spy versus Spy. Like, the idea was, I think you'd need to find, like, a certain number of documents or something, and you could place traps for the other guy to find in a space. Like, it was actually just a really interesting mechanic. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to get down there, and that one up there is meant to trap me, so that's the problem. Okay, I get it now. I think what this is like, I don't really play old Kaizo, right? And so when I'm dealing with OLDC Kaizo, I'm not really sure what to make of it. Like, I play newer Kaizo. Let's put the cutoff at maybe Quickie 2. Like, I don't play a lot of stuff before Quickie 2. And some of it's just because, like, I'm used to the idea that, like, you should always be doing certain things. You're making forward motion. Like, most Kaizo games are pretty much, if you're not moving, you're doing it wrong. Whereas I think, especially when we're looking at, like, the original Kaizo games, there's an awful lot of just, like, standing around. Oh, I needed to wait for that. Which is weird. They're just very different in tenor. And we're already looking at different eras of Kaizo. I remember listening, I forget what the context of the conversation was, but someone with GDQ was talking about boomer Kaizo. Think about that, right? Like, how many people who are both baby boomers and play Kaizo? The number can't be that many. Like, I kind of figure that the general age cutoff for Kaizo players isn't terribly older than me. So there's not many baby boomers. A lot of Gen Xers, I'd suspect, but not many baby boomers, especially because, like, it's rough on the hands. Like, I can't imagine being 60 and trying to still do things like Grand Poo World without, like, some sort of controller that isn't gonna wreck my ligaments. Hooray, we did the thing! Okay. I think I want to do the cut here. Actually, I like the signaling. It gives me a useful indication. What? Wait, what? Okay, can I make this jump? Oh, I needed it. Wait, what? Okay. Maybe I could fix this. Okay. D. Wait, why did I grab this? O. O. This says M, isn't it? Dude! Okay, that was cool. What's up, Blue Ribbon? How you doing? Boomer is a state of mind. Yeah. Yeah, the respawn worked out. Just barely. Oh, I'm stuck. It was Doom. Blah. How's Reverie treating you? I saw you had it for moderation. I swear I saw something new when I looked at someone playing it the other day, and so I'm kind of wondering if Fire actually added more stuff. And I need to go back at some point and play it again. I end up on the platform because I looked away for a minute. Sub Shelf Sphere. Formerly Vintage, formerly many other names. Once again, I appreciate you keeping with the alliteration. That makes it easier to remember. Every once in a while, I think I should, like, make a CMS or something, or... Yeah, CMS being Chat Management System. Instead of Customer Management, or... Customer Management? CMR? Is that Customer Relation Management? Is that the term to art for this? Okay, very confused. Yeah, no, it's not easy. It's just not an easy hack. It's a hard puzzle. One of my favorite GDQ memories, like right after the... Right before the picture? Right around when we wanted to do the picture? I overheard Author Blue say something to the extent of, anyone who beats Reverie without having beaten La Mulana first has my respect. And I'm like, I've done that. So that was fun. But I did play Rem, so I do understand some of what Fire was going for, but only after the fact. And Rem is fantastic, but I wouldn't have wanted to play it without Snyder. Like, it was very much like having two people who can observe stuff helped a lot. Keep waking up so you play some SNW? Ah, nice. What hack? Or just play some SNW, normal SNW for fun. There we go. Yeah, Mark DV numbers asked if I'd play this OLDC level since I didn't play it out when I did OLDC earlier, and I said, okay, sure. Dang it. That part is fiddly. I don't think I understand what I'm supposed to do there correctly. But yeah, Reverie's great. Every once in a while, I think what I should do is, like, make a UHF-style, like, hint thing for it. Which would be cool, because there's not very many modern UHF hint things. So the UHF hint system, the Universal Hint System, was a really awesome way of sort of Socratically getting you to move forward in adventure games. I seem to walk off of that. So, like, you'd be like, okay, well, it's King's Quest VI. I'm having trouble on the Isle of Wonder. All right. And then you would look down the list of questions of things, like areas, and then pick the one, and it would give you a hint about the specific thing. So, like, this isn't much of a spoiler. The first thing you encounter on the Isle of Wonder are these, like, 7 gnomes? Dwarves? Weird-looking things? Who talk in rhyme, because, of course, they talk in rhyme. And each one of them represents a specific sense. And you need to trick each one in kind to convince them that you're not a man. Because if you're a man, they're going to chuck you out in the sea. And the currents around the green... Are the green isles? Was that it? Well, around those isles were very treacherous. Like, you never swim anywhere in that game. It will kill you. And so, like, you have to figure out... You're like, okay, well, I figured out that the first one, the touch one, I can use the rabbit's foot. That works. And then the second one, I got the mint candy. I'll throw some mint at him. Yeah, okay, that works. But what do I do with the guy who smells things? What do I do with the guy who looks at things? I'm missing a sense. I forget which one. Yeah, okay. Whew. And that was kind of how that plays out in the UHS hit system. Is it like, we'll give you slow answers to some of the... We'll slowly answer your questions. And I think that's a lot better than going to game FAQs, especially with regard to adventure games. Like, adventure games don't really... I wonder if that was a retry pipe, and I just screwed it up so bad. Oh, come on! But yeah, adventure games, like, when you're given exact answers, isn't fun. Like, I definitely remember looking at the game FAQs for Phantasmagoria 2 once, because we were really stuck. And the problem with Phantasmagoria 2 is the very first day, you have to show everybody every item in the game. Not quite. You don't have to show the erotic pin-up card that someone sends you to your boss. But, you know, it'd be funny if you did. But you do need to show it to basically all of your other coworkers. You show it to is it Trevor? What's his name? It's the gay guy who's awesome. I think it is Trevor. He's like the best character in that game. You have to show it to your girlfriend, and you have to show it to the kind of overtly flirty woman in the office. Who, as it turns out, is the one that sent the thing. I don't know how to do that consistently. You have to show your wallet to your boss and just go through this giant rigmarole. And the thing is like, you don't think you should need to have to do an awful lot of those things. And an awful lot of them don't really move the plot forward either, so you're a bit surprised at it. At least I was. So. Yeah. There is one modern one for the game Donkey Island, which is a sort of Monkey Island fan... I missed it! A Donkey Island fan game that was made in Czechoslovakia, I think? By some teenagers. And it has... I can't believe it's not Guybrush Threepwood. And he has to, you know, solve the mystery of Donkey Island. And someone did actually write up a UHS-style hint website for it, and I appreciated that. It's really cute. I don't think I saw that when I played it, only after the fact. But it was still fun. I will say that some of the mechanics of that were actually quite infuriating. Namely, the fact that every time you did something, he'd have to walk over to the object and look at it and then tell you that there was nothing there, as opposed to most games where the character doesn't bother walking over to the object unless there's something you actually can do there. So, like, in, let's say, Space Quest 6, you might look at something across the room with using the look icon and say, it'll tell you, like, oh yes, that's a sign for something. Or if you wanted to use, for some reason, the taste icon on something that it doesn't think you should taste, it would be like, Roger Wilco does not want to put his mouth on that. And so on and so forth. The game was a fun start, but it clearly suffered some, like, what's the right way to phrase this? Like, it definitely suffered a bit in development, you can kind of tell. For one, they basically retconned everything in Space Quest V. Like, by the end of Space Quest V, I think Roger Wilco was, like, high up in the military. He started off as a janitor, and they want to do, like, a very much Star Trek parody for V. And so, like, he actually is a kind of Captain Kirk, go and explore random planets in charge of a ship thing. And the very first scene of Space Quest 6 is him getting dressed down and explain that because of his assorted inadequacies in leadership, that he will be stripped of all of his rank and his clothes. And so the last scene is like they rip his jockstrap off of him, and it flies up in the air. And I want to say the 2001 theme starts playing, and the ship morphs, and then the Underoos morph into a spaceship, which happens to look just like a jockstrap, because of course it does. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. There's also a long, complicated puzzle about making a radio transmitter that's basically a logic puzzle. There we go, all but name. And if you didn't have the manual, you were not going to be able to solve it, which was a bit odd for the copy protection at the time, because typically it's not moving downward. Did I screw this up? Did I move it too low? I moved it... Wait, no, it's still there. Are they disconnected now? They're disconnected. I went too low. I can't... Can I fix this? I don't think I can fix this. Okay. Well. Oh, wow. Going down with the ship. Basically, I'm talking about nothing because I've run out of stuff to talk about in this section. It's a bit finicky, especially getting onto the non-numbered platform at the end. But there's also just an awful lot of waiting. Like, I basically need to sit here and wait for this to crunch, which is a little bit of a time waster on both sides. Yeah, that rope. I thought the rope was like a signal that that's where I wanted to get it, but I think you're right that it's the cutoff point. Looking at it now, I think I want to go close to, but not exceed, the rope. There we go. Scroll over and actually see it. Oh, I see. Because then there'll be a rope there, and then I can still have my Chuck, who will murder me. Okay, I didn't look well enough there. That's on me. Anyway. Still having a bit of an itch for an adventure game, but I'm gonna delay that and not start anything new for a little bit. Like, once I finish Outer Wilds, I don't know if I'm gonna like jump into the DLC immediately or wait a little bit. I haven't decided yet. It probably will depend on how long it takes me to figure out what's left to do. Because I feel like I'm very close to the end of the game, but I'm not like 100% sure. Okay. Nope, that's enough. Okay. Why did I do that? Oh, it was a retry thing. Cool, I have an immortal block. Not that I need it, but you know, immortal blocks are pretty cool. Like the respawn strat's better? Yeah, I think so too. It worked out better for me. What? What? Can I make that with a... It's a 6-tile jump. There's some things here I'm not sure I understand. Do I need to bring the Chuck with me? Is that what's being implied here? I think it might be. Okay, well, that might... No, it might be possible. Oh, for Pete's sake! What's up, Dick Feynman? Yeah, leading Charles there. It wasn't obvious to me in retrospect, but I did figure it out. What flavor is it? Boot to the head! And I leave my entire vast boot to... And to my cat mittens, I leave my entire vast boot to the head. And to my lawyer who has helped me assemble this will, I leave not a boot to the head, but a pair of rapid Tasmanian devils to be placed in his trousers? And then I leave my entire fortune to the people of Calgary so they can afford to move somewhere decent. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the good luck, Dick Feynman. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up how this did. I have my suspicions, though. Like, this very much feels like outsider Kaizo, and I suspect that probably did not do as well. Like, this setup just weirds me out. I don't... Oh, for Pete's sake! I can never land on where I want to in this setup. Anyway. But my Pokemons... I also want to do GDQ since I need to do that. That's on the docket for this week. Like, I want to get that done so I can do the PAX one. And I think the PAX one is actually a lot more manageable than the one I had last year, because last year it took 2 sessions, and this one I think it should only take 1. Because I'm going to be a little more choosy about demos. There is also this constraint that if I wait like a week, there'll be more of the demos, especially the adventure game one. There's an adventure game one that's clearly made by someone who really, really enjoyed that bit of Sword of the Stone, where Wart turns into a squirrel. I probably could have done better there. I knew that was a bad jump. But it's a pleasant enough adventure game. Like, I played the demo. Very different demo than last year. Like, they have fighting implemented, which was good. I didn't love it, but especially because, like, the first time you're thrown into it, it was a little more punishing than I would have liked. I'm not sure what would have happened had I failed the fight, because the plot would pretty much end there. But the voice acting's quite top-notch. They got some British, like, voice actors, which is always a good call. British thespians are good voice actors for video games. I think Dark Souls has demonstrated this well. Like, nuts to the SGA, just get a bunch of Brits. You'll have a way better game at the end of it. Okay, cool. Because apparently I think Steam Next Fest is in the next couple weeks. So, like, if I got the GDQ stuff done... Oh, I didn't think that through at all. Then moved on to that in like a week or two before October starts. Because I do want to do some spooky October-y things. And we're already in September. Like, time is flying this year. But I also have no travel plans until November, so it makes life a lot easier. And in November, I'll have be able to stream pretty much however I want to. I'm visiting my my mom, for Thanksgiving, which would be lovely. But my sister, who I often stay with when I'm there, is going to my dad's for Thanksgiving. And so, with the agreement that I feed her cats, I can just use her house. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, we can fix this. And they're pretty nice cats. It just takes a few days for the older and grumpier one to warm up to me. Every single time I'm there. He's also too smart for his own good. He thinks that whenever I show up, it means that she's leaving. Like the first day I was there last time, he woke me up at like 5:30, meowing at my door. And I'm like, sister's still here. She's the one feeding you, not me. I'm going back to sleep. Go bug her in an hour. And he did. So. But makes it easy. Last time I actually used the 2-monitor setup, and it worked out really well. So usually I use a 2-computer setup. But 2-monitor is nice too. I think I had chat. I had the game on the big monitor and the chat on the small one. I forget which way I went. What was I playing when I was there? Oh, UFO 50. Yeah. Oh, I just need to make 3 jumps. I almost feel like the first half of the level was much, much easier than the second half. I guess that's the other thing, is awful lot of the ROM hack races, or an awful lot of the Kaizo levels I play are ROM hack races levels, where the ROM Racing staff have a specific sort of goal in mind with how levels should flow, and one of those is you put your sections in difficulty order to some extent. Okay, I think I've found a way through that mostly consistently. Okay. One tile down. Ah, okay. Mow my lawn and then I'll mow it again. Nope. Stood on too long. The good news is I don't think I'm in any sort of actual time pressure on this level, which is nice. Okay. Boing. Boing. Remember the point where I was actually getting past that part consistently? Wasn't that fun? Okay. So. What else is important to mention that's happening in the near future? I mean, I know what I want to do for around October thing. There's a few things that are just, like, distinctly on my list. I really do want to play the Mansion of Hidden Souls sequel. Not the sequel, but, like, the sequel to the Mansion of Hidden Souls. Because the first one's it's just Mansion of Hidden Souls. The second one is The Mansion of Hidden Souls. And there's a sequel to that one. Which is not confusing in the slightest. Which isn't listed. So, and it's on Saturn. Could be fun. I never bust out the Saturn to do much. And I have it. And it's fun. And I really should. Oh, one other thing I want to do, actually. I forgot about this. But there was an NES dev compo. Which looks cool. There's like 17 games. Many of them purport to work on the SD to SNES. So I might, like, look into getting that working for this, like, week or two. The next week or two. If I'd held B, I would have lived. Because, like, it just looks like fun. I don't know how many people are actually going to do it. The judges, it's not, like, open to judging the way, like, NES Dev is, I think. Where, like, NES Dev, anybody can judge if they're willing to play enough. It's not like judging is much more than filling out a form, really. You're not, like, doing feedback or anything. But I thought it'd be fun, given what I know and how I do enjoy these games. And homebrew things. And there's not going to be an NES Dev this year. I've talked to Fisk a bit about it. Looks like they're aiming for next year. And maybe I'll throw my hat into the ring and try to make something. I have an idea. A concept of an idea for something I want to do. Gosh, darn it! Why can't I land on that tile? Okay. Just can't make this work. I wonder how much more there is. Like, I wouldn't mind this so much if I didn't immediately have to do this. Like, this part is just kind of tedious. There's an awful lot of waiting. Because you have to wait for the cycle to line up, and then you have to wait for it to fall back down. Like, I don't get what this adds to the level in a lot of ways. Like, I feel like it mostly detracts from what's trying to go. This part, I think, is the most interesting of the parts. But at the same time, I don't think I'm doing it right. Like, it's been 10 minutes since the last time I actually got past that part. Okay, let's see. I started... I'm starting about 3... the timer is 350 when I spawn, correct? Correct. So I have to wait for that to move into the right position. Do that. Well, it's not as bad as I thought. I have to basically burn half a minute doing this setup before it starts. Not quite half a minute, maybe 20 seconds. It's not as bad as I'm complaining about it is. Ugh, come on. That's one other thing about OLDC I don't particularly love is lack of retry. Like, I think they should have allowed for people to want to use retry. I don't know. Putting it in as an option would have been nice. It gets old just restarting the level and hearing the sting of the beginning of the music over and over. I'd say hearing the same music over and over, but honestly, like, at this point, I don't even think I hear regular old Mario music. Except to sing along at specific intervals for the specific lawn mowing part. Do-do-do. Okay. SMWP kept pure and original. I know you don't believe that. What else? Oh, I took my my bro and my nephew out and we played some pinball, which was fun. Black Knight Sword of Rage was not kind to them, but they liked the Godzilla challenge mode. I think every time I've shown someone Godzilla challenge mode, they've had a good time. Just also because I think it's a better use of your quarter than Godzilla when you're starting out. Like, you will get more playtime because you're guaranteed at least, like, 40 seconds on the first section, and then you have a 4-ball. Yeah, maybe that's more consistent. Maybe that's how I should do it. Then you get a 4-ball multi-ball. Which is nice. Is that what I wanted? Why did I do that? Oh, I should have just waited. I was impatient. But yeah, we tried out Foo Fighters. Little nephew beat me on Foo Fighters, so I just had a rubbish game. Foo Fighters, I always seem to want to go for Combotron, and I know I shouldn't. I should not get greedy and just let the combos come as they do. But oftentimes I'll be like, ooh, I've got a green one, I should cash it out. I can't cash it out. Now, I also tried Pulp Fiction, to which I asked my nephew, have you seen Pulp Fiction? And he said no. Which was the right answer regardless, because his dad was with him. I managed to start the Pawn Shop multi-ball, one of the 2 multi-balls I know about in that game. And I'm like, the pawn shop is one of the reasons why you shouldn't know about this game, about this movie. Okay, I did it right. Now what? Hope I don't need him again. What? What? No! No! How is that the ending? I wasn't ready for it. Yeah. Funny thing is, the first time either me or my older brother had ever seen Pulp Fiction was, probably 10-odd years ago. And as I'm watching it with him, I'm like, there's so many things in this that seem so very familiar. Then I remembered that the Simpsons episode 22 short films about Springfield basically has most of of Pulp Fiction in it. Except for the bit that, what's his name? Christopher Walken does about the watch. Because, like, and the boxing thing. Like, it doesn't really have the boxing subplot, but it does have it has the pawn shop bit. It has the, what do you call a Royale with cheese, or what do they call these things in Shelbyville? They don't call it a Krusty Burger. They call it a quarter pounder with cheese. What do they call these gum-based, partially gelatinized beverages? They call them shakes. Huh. Shakes. What will they think of next? Have I seen the Glenn Gould movie? I don't believe so, no. I hope that's not a D's Nuts thing, though. I don't know why I've been on edge on that recently. "22 short films." Oh, I didn't realize that was the impetus for the Springfield thing. Awful lot of the times, the Simpsons writers were far smarter than people gave them credit for. Like, for instance, in the... what was it? The Frasier episode? It was like, hydrological and hydrodynamical. Well, no civilization has ever found those to be a worthwhile calling. And then Cecil raises his eyebrow. Yes, yes, the Thessalonians, but aside from that. Turns out the Thessalonians were real people who had massive respect for people working with water. Go figure. Okay. This time shall be different. Okay. Wait, what? Oh no, he wasn't even... Okay, so that's tricky. I need to spawn that early. I might... Adiabatic is a Greek word, mostly. Mostly. Never quite got that joke in South Park, where they keep repeating the word mostly. They come out at night. Mostly. Mostly. I assume it must have been a reference to a different horror movie, but it was one of those, like, early South Park episodes. It was silly. It's the one where, like, people turn into zombies because of Worcestershire sauce or something. I think it had, like, it was presented in spooky vision, which just meant, like, someone's head was on, like, the four corners of the screen, which was just kind of weird. Like, Barbra Streisand's head or something. An awful lot of stuff in the early seasons of South Park is weirdness for weirdness' sake. But that one has a really great, like... had a really great running gag where Cartman kept having costumes that were incredibly offensive, and they were replaced with other costumes that were also offensive. Like, I want to say he was dressed up as, like, a Confederate soldier or something, and then, like, his outfit is offensive to Chef, and so he goes to the school, goes to the principal. And she's like, okay, well, we'll just make you into a spooky ghost then. And she makes him into a spooky ghost, but because of how she does it, it makes him look like a Klan member. Which, again, kind of funny, and scares Chef. Like, wow, Chef's really afraid of ghosts. And yeah, the whole thing was kind of dumb in the way South Park was. Like, everybody came dressed as Chewbacca? Okay, well, we'll just respawn him. That worked. That's one thing about OLDC that I just don't do much, is I just don't think about... So I don't think about scrolling. LR scrolling is not something I think much about. I'm not sure this is a improvement. Wait. Okay, so that is really finicky. I don't know what to do there. I think I need to walk it a little bit, but I don't LR scroll. But that's the ending. Like, I see the ending. I just have to make this awkward disco shell jump something I've never done before. Maybe it's not awkward. Like, maybe GlitchCat would just, like, ace this if he saw it. But... definitely gonna look up the comments after. It was like, I've been able to do everything. I've had some complaints and difficulty, and there's a bunch of waiting, but, like, this hasn't been insanely difficult in terms of Kaizo nonsense. Like, that took me way too long to come up with a consistent strategy for. So the way Mario faces, I think it does a little bit. So, like, the way Mario faces can have some effect on how the screen scrolls, I'm fairly certain. Too early. But I think in this case, it's more of I need to walk the platform and, like, be on the edge of it. So it spawns earlier, but not too early, if that makes sense. I do think that that's a bit of a mean thing to do at the very end of the level, just because it's a difficult trick after all this. Especially all the Chuck babysitting and other waiting we've had to do. But it's kind of a classic trope at this point. It's even a tropius. Still got Pokemon on the brain. Let's just fall off. Let's not even try, Pat. More stuff from ICFP. That was one thing that came out of this particular ICFP is I think I'm going to have a decent bit of ammunition to ban AI, especially vibe-coded AI stuff from future competitions. Because while it did manage to produce working Z3 code, which is hard, believe me, Z3 is a constraint solver, but that's really good at what it does. Like, I think most teams used either Z3's, use Z3 for constraint solving, or they use the SAT solver that Google has released that has nice Python bindings, which is what my bro used for some of the puzzles. What am I doing? I had a strat. I've lost it. But other than that, the AI didn't help that much. I think there were some ideas that got used that were reasonable from AI, but nothing, an awful lot of code that wasn't great. One of the things C said was that he would understand any code he checked in. And I could tell you he did not, in fact, understand all the code he checked in. There was a funny bit where I had the lock on the problem because they were serialized problems. You can only solve one problem at a time. And they're talking about Python, and C's saying, oh yeah, like, if I were to write Python code, it'd be worse than AI writing Python code. Like, my code would be worse. And I yell from the other room, disagree! But Fiskbit interprets it as it's free, and we step on each other's toes for a while, which was funny. But yeah, he put in some vibe-coded Python that was supposed to help Snyder do something. I think Snyder reverted all of it. Because, like, it added a lot of code to do a specific small thing, and it didn't do it very well. My personal favorite bit was it was using an early return and a finally to do something before the return, after the return, which is not a good pattern in Python. Frankly speaking, there's not that much finally you see in Python these days. Like, the major use case for a try finally block usually was something like I have a file that's open, or I have a socket, or some other, like, resource that you've acquired. That has a specific lifetime, and I'd want to close it. But nowadays, what most people do, if you want to have that resource freed at the end of your function, you just use with to acquire it under those semantics, where it's only valid within that block. At which point it gets collected and closed. Well, it gets closed. There's a specific way you write these things. There we go. But using finally the way that CI's AI Adventure did wasn't a good way to do it. It was using it to set a class set an instance variable, which is just silly, really silly. Like, very much not idiomatic Python in the slightest. The other way you could tell that any code was AI written during this contest is if it had comments. We never write comments for our code. Unless it's something specifically like, this is doing something very clever, or this is doing something you shouldn't mess with. Sup, Steven? How you doing? Well now. That's a nice little thumb break time. I wanted to take a sip anyway. Thank you for 19 months. It is always amazes me when I see these numbers pop up. And the numbers are so dang high. Glad to, oh yeah, I did see your thing on Discord. I didn't fully grok what I was looking at, but I did see it. I forget if you posted the Evertail. Undertale, or Deltarune thing, because I'm not looking at Deltarune spoilers yet. Still need to play Chapter 3, which I haven't done yet, which I wanted to do, but I haven't. Continue my list of I need to finish things before I start new things. What I see on Discord? Just spoiler for Deltarune Chapter 3, which I studiously didn't look at. Oh, and where was the other one? Punished Alfund. A scion without his crystal braves. Like, I played enough of Final Fantasy XIV's plot to know who that is. I haven't played any of the expansions since the first one, so I don't know what he's up to. I think I got partway through the Dragoon one, but I don't remember. It's been a long time. Like, I met Migurzolam and then kind of peaced out. I was kind of done with MMOs. Like, basically what ends up happening is, with MMOs, I, like, have a period of time where I'm, like, obsessive for 2 weeks, and then I realize that I'm not having fun, and I'm, like, trying to read a physical book while I'm playing, and I'm like, that's pointless. I should just read a book. I'll be a happier person. So, in the interest of avoiding losing 2 weeks, that's mostly what I do with that nowadays. Second, which is a shit post for the first X. It puts me back here? Okay, it does put me back here. I don't know why I complain about it. I knew that. There we go. Playing Leapfrog. Playing Hop Thompson's Cloud Frog. There we go. Second, this is shit post the first X. Okay. All right. I did it! Yes! I even got points! Holy cow, that should not have worked. That was a really lucky one-tile jump. I will completely be honest, that was complete luck off that bounce. My hand hurts a little bit. I like the overworld. This is actually a funny gimmick. Oh. Thank you for playing my game. Difficulty rating. Kaizo Beginner. Easy Demon. Coinless rating. Kaizo Expert. Hard Demon. That probably would be harder to do without coins. I definitely don't want to do that. Have you beaten it coinless? No. If you did manage it, excellent job. You're officially a Kaizo master of parkouring as well as abject poverty. And the slug dies in abject poverty. Thank you. Thanks for the GGs. Ah, man. My hand does hurt a bit after that. I haven't been playing enough Kaizo. I think some of the muscles in my thumb have atrophied. But yeah, that level was kind of hard for me. I'm not that good at Kaizo. Let's see. Let's pull up the listing. Let's see how it did. I'm curious. That's 23. Wait, was this done 23 or 24? Yeah. How do I find this? Oh, it wasn't listed with a year. Alright, results. Kaizo level judging. This was number 17, but we know it's by Mark. This came in 19th. That's actually not bad, looking at this. Like, 65 as a bottom thing is not terrible. But I could definitely see why. If people were expecting more, like, normal Kaizo, this definitely does not fit the bill. Let's see. Whose judging do I trust the most? I don't know any. Like, maybe whom am I not? Let's see. Parkour scale. Good use of scale platforms felt a bit simple, almost standard, and still a bit more of the lower end Kaizo. Yeah, sounds about right. Just poke the bear with a stick a little bit, gonna have a smoke and think about what we do. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I think that's all we have to say about that.